LTS, welcome back. And of course, we're talking with James Baird, who's the president of the West Indies Football Association. And I just found out something. He is a keeper, a goalkeeper. You know, we've been talking throughout this entire show. This is the fourth segment. And I assumed he was a striker. I'm not too sure where I got that from. But he's actually the guy who prevents the striker. Wow, James. Because I know you said you played at so many clubs. And I think it's easier for them to pick a striker, or maybe a defense, because it's easier. You can choose. But a keeper is something you have to. Sometimes you have another keeper there who's standing by, but he never gets to even play unless the first keeper is injured. So a goalkeeper, I'm in shock. You know, that's why I can't get over it here. And of course, you told me you also may have you have a line. A clothing line that's about to pop.
Yeah, well, I had been approached this last few months actually about doing a brand, and I decided that I'm going to do that, and the brand's actually going to be the Holy Goalie, which is a kind of it's a bit of a fun thing because that's been my nickname for a little while, and we'll use that, and probably around December we'll have something coming out, goalkeeping gloves, and I actually have an online store at the moment selling T-shirts and different kind of equipment too.
Well,
so
you can leave us with the information for online so we could check it.
Yeah, I could do that. I don't know it off by heart at the moment because it's just the last week it's been done. But coming December, everything will be up fully running and stuff. But it's a bit of fun, as I say. But we'll see. It may bring in a few dollars too.
Definitely. Now, Holy Goalie. Holy, not in terms of whole, right? In terms of
I hope not in terms of being a goalkeeper. Now, it's to do with religion a little bit in a sense, that background. Good. But we'll play on it in a sense, the holiness too, in a sense that goalkeeper wants to be like a wall and be strong. But so we'll probably the logo might be a little bit to do with that as well.
Right. Okay. It sounds great, man. Once it's not, like whole W, or HOLE, we're good with that. Good keeper. And right, of course, we have you played with Tobago United, which was Pro League at that time, right? And well, of course, Pro League is coming up. What do you think? What are your comments, though? I mean, playing Pro League then and seeing where it is now.
Well, there has been they have moved forward a lot since I think it was 2007 that I played, but it's a difficult one to call because the national team's still having problems, which obviously then reflects on the league. So. I think Dexter Screening, they keep trying every year to improve, but I think unless real funding from, I suppose, the public or the sector out there comes in, it's always going to be a challenge for them. But I mean, the standard isn't bad. It's not EPL or anything, but it's still good. There's a lot of young talent comes out of it, and there's a lot of good, exciting teams. For example, your W Connection, Central FC seem to have this kind of rivalry, which is good. It's maybe not off the field, but it's on the field. They have this kind of and there's been a few players. I think there's 4 Central FC players went to Belgium. So that's great for them. Obviously, Terry went out there and took them. And even look at St Anne Rangers, who seems to be, they use a lot of young players. They've got young Corbin, who was one of the stars of the tournament. And I don't think he'll last too long there. No disrespect to them, but I think teams will come in.
I mean, a hat-trick in your last game, everybody's looking at you, man.
So he's a star of the future in a sense, as long as he keeps his head on his shoulders, right? And I'm sure St Anne's Rangers have a few other players too. So the league, in terms of talent, is up there. And it's probably one of the better ones in the Caribbean. I think Dominican Republic have just launched theirs last week as well. So the Caribbean in a whole is going up. It's just that they need to maybe get that little bit of funding and that little bit extra support. Right.
And of course, we always tend to go back to funding when it comes to sport and in Trinidad and Tobago. And I guess other parts of the Caribbean as well, because you hear a lot of stories. And even Haiti, when they were here, because I asked, does the government fund? And they said a percentage, but most of it is corporate, the corporate people coming in and assisting to make things happen. And even when it comes to football, though, we are a football country, we are a football nation. Yeah, we're a bit of bandwagoners sometimes, especially you saw it for the World Cup. Everybody was Brazilian. Everybody was either, though for clubs, everybody is almost Messi, but for World Cup, I realized they were anti-Messi, so I'm not too sure what that was about. But at the games as well, and I think we had this conversation, the support was not what we would have wanted it to be or what we would have liked it to be. And I was even hoping it's the under-20. You have a lot of school support. The government, they own the buses. I'm really not knocking. I'm just stating some facts. They own the buses. Maybe you can give them X amount of passes to come to the game free, school children to see the under-20, because this is where the football teams, this is their next level, and then everything goes from there. Dwight York started off under-20. You know, we have a lot of younger ones and talent. That's where it starts. And I feel as though we as a nation don't put enough backing, even when it comes to just support. So it reflects why even when it comes to the financial support, it's not there either. Yeah, and anything you want to say in closing, James? Because I know you have.
Yeah, well, I think what you were just touching on there in terms of support. I mean, I know the Pro League doesn't get a big support. We saw obviously the CFU games. It didn't have a huge support.
No.
But I think again, the TTF did a great job, as did the CFU.
They did. Yeah.
I think what they could probably do is let the schools have free tickets. I mean, it'd be better to have the stadium full.
Yeah.
But again, I'm sure they have these ideas. It's just not that they're not able to put it into action because of whatever reason.
Yeah.
But it would be better for the fan and the players, if the stadium's full.
Yeah.
And in terms of Pro League as well, now again, I'm sure they have plans for these things. But it'd be great to go to a Pro League or a national game and have the stadium packed out.
Yeah. That encourages the players. You feel as though, hey, you know, you might make it. You didn't make it yet, but you get that feeling. Yeah, and it's a great support, of course. And as we saw for the final game, it was a big support for Trinidad. We had a bigger turnout for the final game, thankfully. Not as big as we might have wanted, but it was a bigger turnout. So thanks to those of you who decided to support the football, Trinidad's football, of course, and those who are always behind everything that flies the red, black, and white. Yeah, thanks for that. So anything you want to say in closing, James, as we?
Well, just want to say that it was a wonderful CFU tournament, and it was a pleasure to cover it, especially with such young talent.
Yeah.
Anybody that, as I say, wants to get involved in the West Indies programme, definitely hit us up on the website. As I say, wifa.ca is the website. And just keep enjoying sports. I mean, that's one thing I say to youngsters. Maybe you might not be the best player or the best talent out there, but keep persevering, because from my point of view, I was never initially one of the best players. I just kept plugging away, and eventually I had a good career out of it. As I say, it wasn't the best in the world, wasn't the worst, and I think that's one of the beauties about sport.
Yeah, definitely. So thanks again, James Baird, for being a part of the show.
Thank you.
So you heard it, guys. You know almost everything about James Baird now, who is the president of the West Indies Football Association, and of course you can check out the page, which is www.wifa.ca. That's it. That's a wrap to our show today. I am Melissa Cudjoe, and on behalf of We Sports, your home for local sports, have a great and safe weekend. See you on Tuesday.